Kusambola. I'm Somtinte from Muttang High School. Welcome to Bhutan e-learning program. Today I will take a lesson on utility. It is a continuation of the previous lesson that has been done. And in this lesson I will be more focused on utility and types of utility and the relationship between the two utilities. This lesson is for Key Stage 4 and 5. Now let's start with the objectives of today's lesson. The first objective that we have is to understand the meaning of marginal utility and total utility. Then after that we will construct a marginal and total utility schedule. Lastly, we will end the lesson by determining the relationship between marginal and total utility. In order to understand the relationship between total and the marginal utility, first of all, we will look into the characteristics of utility in general. Now, number one, we have the first characteristics of utility, which is called as, or the first characteristics of utility is subjective. That means the satisfaction that the consumer gets from each commodity would differ from one person to another, depending upon their preferences and taste. Secondly, utility is abstract. Everybody knows that the satisfaction that we get from consuming any kind of goods or services is just emotion. It is abstract because satisfaction does not have any physical existence. We can only feel the satisfaction, but we cannot see it or measure it. The third characteristic is utility is relative. That means the satisfaction that the consumer gets would differ from one place to another, from one country to another, or from one season to another. The last characteristics of utility is not measurable. That means the satisfaction that the consumer gets cannot be measured. As we have already mentioned in the first and the second characteristics, utility is not measurable because it is abstract. However, to continue the lesson further and to talk about marginal utility and total utility, we need to understand, or you need to understand, that utility in this context, we are taking utility as measurable in terms of the cardinal numbers. Here we are saying that utility can be measured in cardinal numbers in order to get the schedule and in order to determine the relationship between the total and the marginal utility. Before we start making the relationship between the marginal and the total utility, we will briefly look into the definition of total utility. Total utility is sum total of satisfaction that the consumer gets from consuming a given amount of goods or services. Now in this case, I have shown, or I am showing you an example of ice cream. A consumer is consuming the first scoop of ice cream, and here we are saying that the consumer is getting a satisfaction of 20 utils. At this point, the total utility of the consumer is 20 utils only. If the consumer goes on to consume the second scoop of ice cream, and the satisfaction that the consumer gets from the second scoop of ice cream is 16 utils, then the total utility is, at this point, total utility is 36 utils. We add the 20 and the 16 from the second scoop of ice cream, and the total utility at this point becomes 36 utils. If the consumer again consumes the third scoop of ice cream and gets a satisfaction of 10 utils from the third scoop of ice cream, then at this point the total utility of the consumer will be 46 utils. That means we add satisfaction from the first, second and the third scoop of ice cream together. Next, we have the marginal utility. Marginal utility refers to the extra or the additional satisfaction that the consumer gets by consuming the extra unit of a commodity. In the previous example, where we talked about the ice cream, the first scoop of ice cream that the consumer consumed At that point, there is no marginal utility because there is no extra unit of commodity consumed. But when the consumer goes on to consume the second scoop of ice cream, then the consumer gets a satisfaction of 20 utils. That 20 utils can now be called as a marginal utility. When the consumer consumes the third scoop of ice cream and gets a satisfaction of 10 utils, then that 10 utils becomes the marginal utility for the consumer. Now I will give you a brief example of marginal and total utility schedule. Now we will make a simple marginal and total utility schedule. First of all, we will take the units of a good consumed by the consumer. Then first of all, we will look into the marginal utility that the consumer gets from the commodity. Now let's say at this point we take the same example of ice cream. The first scoop of ice cream that the consumer consumes at this point, there is no marginal utility because there is no extra unit consumed. When the consumer goes on to consume the second scoop of ice cream, let's say for example, the consumer gets 16 utils of satisfaction. The third scoop of ice cream that the consumer consumes, let's say again the consumer gets 10 utils of satisfaction. Further, as the consumer goes on consuming the fourth scoop of ice cream, the marginal utility starts to decrease. This is because with every additional unit that the consumer consumes, the satisfaction goes on decreasing because the consumer goes on consuming the commodity again and again over a continuous period of time. Now when the consumer consumes the fifth scoop of ice cream, then the consumer's marginal utility at this point we are saying has become zero. This is the saturation point for the consumer because with every additional unit of ice cream consumed, now the consumer's satisfaction goes on decreasing and reaches the saturation point. Finally, if the consumer still continues to consume the sixth scoop of ice cream, here the marginal utility, let's say for example, it is -6. Why we have put negative at this point is the consumer has been continuously eating ice cream or consuming ice cream for a very long period of time. As a result, the consumer has gone beyond the saturation point. Now, next we will look at the total utility. Total utility, as we already mentioned in the starting of the lesson, total utility is the total satisfaction received by the consumer. When the first unit of ice cream is consumed by the consumer, at this point, if you remember, we said the consumer gets 20 utils. So at this point, the total satisfaction of the consumer is 20 utils only. When the consumer consumes the second scoop of ice cream, the total utility becomes 36 utils of satisfaction. At this point, if you are wondering how I got the number 36, then what I did was I added 20 utils of the first unit of ice cream, first scoop of ice cream, and the satisfaction received from the second scoop of ice cream. Now, as you go along, in the third one, the third scoop of ice cream will lead to 46 utils of satisfaction. Again, it's the same process. You can keep on adding the total amount of satisfaction that the consumer gets from consuming 3 units of ice cream. When the consumer consumes the fourth scoop of ice cream, the total satisfaction received by the consumer is 50 utils of ice cream. When the consumer consumes the fifth scoop of ice cream, the total satisfaction is 50 utils, and in the sixth one, the consumer will get 44 utils of satisfaction. Please remember, in order to get your total utility, you just have to keep on adding the number of marginal utilities that the consumer gets. And you can follow the same process that I have done here. In this case, you can add 20 plus 16 plus the 10. So you can follow the same procedure, and this is how you get your total utility. Now again, if you go back to the marginal utility and the total utility schedule, you will already, by now, you will already see the behavior of the marginal utility and the total utility. In the case of the marginal utility, it continuously goes on decreasing at this point, and when the consumer consumes the fifth scoop of ice cream, the marginal satisfaction or the marginal utility of the consumer is 0. And when the consumer consumes the sixth scoop of ice cream, the satisfaction becomes negative. In the case of the total utility, the behavior of the total utility is it continues to increase in the beginning, or you can see from the table here, when the consumer consumes or continues to consume 4 scoops of ice cream, the total utility derived from the 4 scoops of ice cream is 50 utils. As the consumer goes on to consume the 5th scoop of ice cream, the satisfaction or the total utility remains constant at 50 only, and then after the consumer goes on to consume the 6th scoop of ice cream, then you can see from here, by the 6th scoop of ice cream, the consumer's satisfaction or the total satisfaction starts to decrease. Now, based on the schedule, marginal utility and the total utility schedule, we will put it in the graph, in the form of a graph. We draw the y-axis and the x-axis. On the x-axis, you can put as units. On the y-axis, you can put as marginal utility. Based on the behavior of marginal utility that we have seen in the schedule, I will directly draw the curve, as at this point, due to the constraint of time period, we cannot take the proper scaling. So I will directly show you the graph. Here, based on the behavior of the marginal utility, you can see that marginal utility continues to decrease, and when it touches the x-axis, then that is where the marginal utility has become 0. And then when the marginal utility curve goes beyond the x-axis, then we are saying that the marginal utility has become negative. Now, in the case of the total utility, we can again take our y-axis and x-axis, same as what we have done above. On the x-axis, we will take the units of commodity consumed. On the y-axis, we will take the total utility. Now again, if you remember, in the case of total utility, we have mentioned that in the beginning, total utility will be increasing, then it will reach its maximum point and remain constant, and then it starts to decrease. So here again, you can take the marginal utility curve directly. I'm taking it, and you can see that in the beginning, total utility curve is increasing and it remains constant, and then it starts to decrease. After we have looked into the marginal utility and the total utility schedule, we have also looked into the marginal utility curve and the total utility curve separately. Now finally, based on the marginal utility curve and the total utility curve, we will look into, or we will determine, the relationship between the two utilities. Now, if you notice on the graph that I've drawn here, you will see that when the marginal utility is decreasing, the total utility is increasing. At this point, total utility is increasing, but it will increase at a decreasing rate. And total utility will continue to increase as long as the marginal utility is positive. And when the marginal utility becomes 0, then at this point you can see that the total utility has reached its maximum point and it remains constant for a while. When the marginal utility becomes negative, then total utility starts to decrease. Now this three relationship, you can put it as three relationship. I repeat again, when the marginal utility is decreasing but remains positive, the total utility increases at a decreasing rate. When the marginal utility is 0, then total utility reaches its maximum point and remains constant for a while. When marginal utility becomes negative, at that point total utility starts to decrease. Now this relationship, you can see it from the schedule as well as from the graph that I have just shown here. With this, I conclude my lesson. I hope you must have understood it. I would like to recap what we have done in this lesson. Number one, we looked at the meaning of marginal utility and total utility. Marginal utility, again, as a reminder for you all, marginal utility is the extra satisfaction that the consumer gets from consuming an extra unit of output. Total utility is the total satisfaction that the consumer gets by consuming the total amount of goods or services. Secondly, we have looked into the marginal utility schedule and the total utility schedule. Thirdly, we have looked into the marginal utility curve and the total utility curve. Now, based on the schedule as well as the curve, we have also determined the three relationship of marginal and total utility. Number one, marginal utility, from the very beginning, marginal utility decreases, but so long it remains as positive, the total utility increases at a decreasing rate. When the marginal utility becomes 0, it is at that point that the total utility has reached its maximum point and remains constant for a while. When the marginal utility starts to become negative, then the total utility will also start to decrease. Now, lastly, I would like you to explore yourself with these two questions. In my previous concept that you have seen earlier, you might have noticed that marginal utility becomes negative. But now at this point, I would like you to think, can total utility be negative? If so, you have to think why it can be negative or why it cannot be negative. Secondly, I would also like you to think on what does diminishing marginal utility mean based on your understanding of marginal utility that you have seen throughout this lesson. With this, I would like to conclude my lesson. I hope to see you in the next lesson. Stay happy and stay healthy. Thank you.